Welcome to our yoga practice for the lower back. This one is a little more strength based. We're also going to begin in a slightly different position as well. We're going to be on the front of the body to start our practice today. As we have done in these practices, if you want to have a blanket down where the pelvis is, feel free to take something a little bit softer just down onto the ground in front of you. In terms of props, no other particular props that you might need today in your practice, unless of course you know there is something that you like to practice with. Please do listen to your body and take this slowly, especially with those strength training parts. If there's anything that brings any sharp pain, just easing off from that movement or coming back towards stillness. So we'll begin down on the front of the body, bringing yourself down to the front of the body anyway. Placing the front of the pelvis down. Now your feet might want to be about the distance of the pelvis apart. I'm going to just take my mic off and place it on a block right in front of me. Today you might have the elbows out wide, so if you make a little triangle with your thumbs, then when you place your nose down, your nose won't get squished. If you have glasses, it might mean that you need to take your glasses off for a moment. So your head rests in your hands, and just so I don't kind of get caught into the mic here, I am going to keep my head slightly lifted. See if you can take a gentle wriggle of the pelvis left and right here, and repeating that sway left and right a few times, and then settling into stillness. To begin our practice today, taking 3 slightly deeper rounds of breath. So we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more like this, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Great. And then let your breath just settle to either its natural rhythm or finding a slow breath in through the nose and a slow breath out through the nose as well. We're going to begin with thinking about the body asymmetrically here on the front. So we want to take the arms out long so that the hands are pushing, or the palms are pushing down into the mat, and the head is ever so slightly lifted, so you might not have your nose squished into the mat anymore. A slight lift of it, but not looking all the way forwards. We're trying not to strain the neck here. We're trying to keep the back of the neck quite long. And to begin, simply push down through the top of your left foot and push down through your right hand. So pushing down through the left foot and through the right hand. See if you can hold that here. So it's that cross-body connection, pushing down through the left foot and the right hand, and breathing here. Remembering to ease off if this starts to bring any pain into what you're doing. And then finding center. Let the pushing cease. We'll do the other side. So we're going to push down through the top of the right foot and pushing down through the left hand at the same time. So the right foot is pushing down and the left hand is pushing down, and holding that push down, still breathing slow and steady in and out here. One more round of breath in it, and then relax the legs, relax the arms. Maybe you drop the forehead down to the mat for a moment, or just give the pelvis again that gentle sway left and right. Fab. If this is comfortable, stay there with your hands, or bring your arms back so the palms stack again, and you can rest your forehead down on your hands. And again, I will have my head lifted just for demoing purposes, but have the forehead down on your hands here. This time, think about pushing down through the right elbow And rather than pushing down through your left foot, see if there's space to lift the left foot off the ground. So you're having to squeeze the left glute to lift the left foot, but you're still pushing down through the right elbow, keeping that left foot lifted for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, letting it land down. Same thing to the other side. We're pushing down through the left elbow and playing with lifting the right foot off the ground. We're trying to keep the right leg straight. It does not matter how high that foot is lifted, and holding that here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and then letting the legs drop down. Give the hips a gentle sway left and right. Great. We're going to repeat that exactly the same one more time. Pushing down through your right elbow, lifting your left toe off the ground. See if you can really point that left toe away from you as you lift it up. Squeezing the left glute for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Releasing. Pushing down through the left elbow, lifting the right foot, pointing the right toe away from you, squeezing the right glute for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, letting both feet land. Give the pelvis a gentle sway left and right. Option to play with both feet lifted. So you're really welcome to rest for a moment here. Or we're going to push down through both of the elbows. Forehead is still down on the hands. And you might play with lifting both toes off the mat. Maybe a little bit of the front of the knees come up, squeezing through both sides of the glutes. Holding it here. And remember, if there's any sharp pain, particularly of the lower back, let the feet go slightly lower. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Let the feet land. Take the pelvis for a gentle sway left and right. And then can you bend through the knees so the heels come up, and then take your heels for a sway left and right. Big sways, small sways, however that needs to be. We're just going to find a bit of release after that here. So let your right leg go down. We're going to lift ourselves up onto our elbows here. So the elbows are coming roughly underneath the shoulders. You can have the hands together or you can have the hands down. I've got my hands together today. We're going to bend our left knee and bring it out to the left with your left foot. You can point it to the back of the mat or to the side. And maybe this is where you stay today, with the torso a bit more lifted. Or if it feels okay to come back down, you can come back down. If you do come down, experiment with taking the left cheek down to your mat and taking a few slow, steady breaths here. Gentle breath in and out. One more of these. We're going to be switching that to the other side. So the left leg goes back long. Again, if it helps to come in, lift yourself onto your elbows. Bring the right knee up alongside the pelvis. And then you can stay lifted, or you can shuffle back down. And this time it's the right cheek that might come down to your mat. Holding here, slow, steady breaths. Notice if your glutes are active right now. Try and see if you can relax them a little. Maybe that's easier said than done. Slow breaths in and out. Wonderful. We're going to send both of the legs out long. We're going to bring our hands underneath here, lifting onto your knees And then bringing your knees so they're on your blanket if you had your blanket there. Hands want to be underneath the shoulders, knees want to be underneath the hip joints here. Spread the fingers nice and wide, but rather than taking a cat-cow, we're going to lean to the left with the whole torso. We're going to circle the pelvis to the heels, lean to the right, and then forwards, and then trace that circle round a few more times here. Circle keeps moving around. Fab. And then can you simply reverse the circle? So the same thing in the opposite direction. Fab. One more circle. And then finding center again, rather than cat-cow, we're going to take the pelvis to the left and look over the left shoulder. And then can you come to center, take the pelvis to the right, look over the right shoulder. Repeating that here, pelvis goes to the left, looking over the left shoulder. And then the pelvis goes to the right, looking over the right shoulder. Let the pelvis go to the left, looking over the left shoulder. And to the right, looking over the right shoulder. One more time in each direction. Left and right. And then coming back through to center, just 3 cat-cows. Inhaling to drop the belly down, looking forwards. Exhale, rounding through the back body to find your cat, chin and tailbone tuck. Inhaling cow pose to look forwards. Exhaling to round through the back body to find your cat. Inhaling cow pose, looking forwards. Exhaling to your cat, and then coming back to a neutral position. We're going to take an optional 5 breaths in a downward facing dog. If you want to stay down low, you can simply tuck your toes and lean back slightly here. Or we're going to tuck our toes, lift the knees, send the pelvis up and behind. Keep a bit of bend in your knees. We want to be pushing down into the fingers, not just the heel of your hands. And you can stay still here or take a gentle pedal out through the feet, bending one knee and then the opposite knee. Side to side movement here, looking to the toes, or a very gentle kind of nod with the head here. 2 more rounds of breath in this downward facing dog shape. Imagine that you're sending the tailbone to the sky here, and then let the knees come all the way back to the ground. Fab. We're going to take the legs round to the front of the mat. So you might swivel the legs to one side. And again, you might bring yourself so that you're sat on your blanket here. See if you can bring the soles of your feet together. Let the knees drop out wide. It might be that the knees are much higher. Maybe they're a little lower. And rather than folding, we're just trying to sit up tall here. So the hands can find the front of the shins, they can find the knees, they can find the feet. See if you can tuck the chin slightly so the spine is lengthening up. And simply taking 5 breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Taking those breaths at your own pace. Great. Use your hands to help collect the knees up. Bring the feet down. Take the hands behind you. You might shuffle your pelvis slightly forwards. We're coming all the way down to the back of the body here. Let the soles of your feet land. Let the hands land on the front of the torso, and just give yourself a moment to arrive here. You might stay still today, just as you've landed now, Or you might bring your knees into chest for a moment, give yourself a squeeze, and take some gentle sways side to side here. We are just going to find one more kind of strengthening shape. Well, there's two different variations of that strengthening shape here before we come towards some rest. So we're going to bring the soles of our feet down to the mat, feet the distance of the pelvis apart, knees the distance of the pelvis apart. And to start with, we're going to tuck our hands underneath the lower back. So you can do it palm side by side, or you can rest one palm on top of the other. But that kind of curve of the lower back is where we want to place the hands here. And then see if you can find a push into your feet, a squeeze of the glutes, and then imagine that you're trying to push your lower back into your hands, and that is going to help to engage your core. So all the muscles around the trunk of the body. If you started to hold your breath, still breathe in and out. See if you can keep pushing the lower back into the ground. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and then relaxing. You can repeat it with your hands under your lower back, or you can try with the hands on the side of your body. It means there's less resistance to push against. So if you start with the hands out and it doesn't feel quite right, just slide the hands back under again. Again, can we push into the feet, squeeze the glutes, and then push the lower back into the ground. Keep breathing, keep squeezing the glutes, keep pushing the lower back into the ground. And then holding here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Relaxing. One last variation of this. You can repeat either of the two we've already done, or for the third option, we're bringing the shins parallel to the ground, knees directly over the hips. Feet again, hips width distance apart, knees hips width distance apart, palms find the front of the knees. Imagine that you are pushing your lower back into the ground first, your palms into your hip, your palms into your thighs back into your palms, and you'll find maybe a bit more fire here with this one. Keep pushing into the lower back, keep pushing into the palms. I'm going to hold it for slightly longer, for 10, for 9, 8, keep breathing, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let your knees come towards you, give them a gentle hug and a rock and a roll, left and right. Fab. Eventually let your feet land quite wide on your mat, maybe the edges of your mat. Hands can go wherever they need to. Take a few more sways of the knees. Left and right here. Maybe explore taking the knees as far over as they want to go. Gentle sway. And then we're looking to find a point of stillness that feels comfortable for you today. So maybe that's simply letting the knees knock together. Maybe it's that constructive rest position where you're trying to find the place of most ease for the legs, least effort. If the legs want to go out long, you can take the legs out long. Hands can land wherever they need to land. See if you can tune into the space around your lower back again, around the back of the pelvis and the front of the pelvis. We'll be here for around a minute, so adjust that in any way that you need to. Or just gently watching the breath as you are here. Your eyes might softly close, or find a focus to the ceiling. You are really welcome to pause the video and stay here for another 10 minutes. If you're ready to close your practice, we'll take 3 rounds of breath together here. Let's breathe in through the nose and sighing out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose, sighing out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose, sighing out through the mouth. Thanking yourself for being with your practice today. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you again soon.